Hello and welcome. Thank you for being here and investing your time in improving your English and yourself. You are not someone who has lost your English. You are just repeating a wrong way of learning long enough to believe you are not capable. You have started many times, bought books, downloaded apps, watched videos, even made clear plans, but after a few weeks, everything goes back to zero. You look at people who speak English fluently and think they have talent, but you do not. But the most frustrating thing is not that you don't know, it is that you know many small things, but when you need to say a simple sentence, you stay silent. And if you are here, maybe you don't need to learn more, you just need to start again in a better way. You are not bad at learning, you just have never learned in a clear system. Most people learn English in a random way. Today, vocabulary, tomorrow, grammar, the next day, videos. But there is no clear direction. It is like building a house without a plan. You put each brick by feeling, and then you wonder why it is not strong. You remember some words, understand some structures, but they are not connected. So when you need to use them, you don't know where to start. Maybe you studied very hard before, but because you did not see clear progress, you slowly lost trust in yourself. The truth is, the problem is not you, it is the way you learned before. And when the method is wrong, even if you try harder, the results does not change. You are afraid to start again because it feels like you are going backward compared to others. But the truth is, if your foundation is not strong, learning more only makes things more confusing. Starting again is not going back to zero, it is fixing what is wrong so you can go faster later. It is like a house that is built in the wrong way. You need to take some parts down to build it correctly, or it will fall when it gets higher. Going back to basic knowledge is not something to feel ashamed of. It is the smartest step you can take. And the sooner you start, the more time you save in the future. You don't need to learn everything. You just need to learn the right thing at the right time. One common mistake is trying to learn too many things at once. Vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, listening, speaking, all in one day. The result is you feel tired, and then you slowly give up. Instead, start with one important thing and build from there. Pronunciation is a good example. If your pronunciation is wrong from the beginning, you will not hear correctly, and if you cannot hear, you cannot speak well. Fixing pronunciation later is much harder than learning it right from the start. You don't need to learn many sounds every day, just a few, but learn them carefully, listen clearly, and repeat many times. Slow but steady is always better than fast but messy. You may have learned hundreds of words, but forgot most of them after a few weeks. The problem is not your memory, it is your way of learning vocabulary. Learning vocabulary is not about meaning, it is about how to use it. A word really belongs to you when you can put it into a sentence in a real situation. Instead of learning alone as just one person, try a sentence like, I feel alone when I don't talk to anyone. Then the word is no longer abstract, it becomes part of your experience. You don't need to learn many words each day, just a few, but understand how to use them clearly. And, more importantly, meet the same word again in different situations. That is how your brain remembers naturally, without forcing. You think you need to learn a lot before you start speaking, but that almost never happens. You will always feel you are not good enough and keep delaying. Speaking English is not a reward after learning, it is part of learning. You can start with very simple sentences, even if they are wrong. The important thing is to get used to opening your mouth and expressing your thoughts. You can talk to yourself, describe what you are doing, or repeat sentences you hear in videos. At first, it feels uncomfortable, but everyone goes through this stage, and only when you accept this imperfect feeling, you can move forward. You play an English video and try to understand every word, then feel tired when you cannot follow.
But listening is not about understanding 100%. It's about understanding enough to get the main idea. If it is too hard, you lose motivation. If it is too easy, you do not improve. Choose content that matches your level, where you understand about half and the rest is a challenge. You can listen again many times and understand a little more each time. Slowly, strange sounds become familiar, and English will not feel strange anymore. You don't need to study a lot, you just need to study regularly. Many people study very hard for a few days, then stop for a week and start again from the beginning. But the brain does not work like that. It needs repeated practice to build habits and long-term memory. 15 minutes every day can be more effective than 3 hours a week if you keep doing it. When learning becomes a small but steady part of your life, it no longer feels like a burden. And this consistency is what really creates change. You don't quit because English is too hard. You quit because you think it is not for you. You compare yourself to others and forget that everyone has a different starting point. You only see their results, but not their mistakes, their hard times, or the days they continued without motivation. Learning English is not a competition, it is a personal journey. And if you keep looking at others, you will forget why you started. Focus on your own progress, even if it is small, because small steps, if repeated, can take you very far. You don't need a perfect method, you just need a simple way that you can continue. You don't need to be good today, you just need to be a little better than yesterday. Losing your foundation is not the end, it is just a different starting point. And if you start again, this time with a clear foundation, a suitable pace, and the right mindset, things will change. Not fast immediately, but definitely different. And one day, you will realize you can understand, speak, and use English more naturally than you ever thought. Just because this time you are not trying to learn more, you are learning in the right way. If you find this video interesting and helpful, please give me a like and subscribe.